Alright, so this is my 4.0.1 PvE two-handed frost guide. Like my Moonkin video, I will cover stats, gear, gemming, spec, glyphs, and priorities. Alright, so stats in order of importance. They are hit rating to cap, so you need 8% hit for two-hand. Expertise, which is 26, and I'm actually running below expertise cap, but I don't give a shit. Haste rating, which it loses some value at about 900, but I'm still below that, so it's still the strongest stat for me. Mastery, then strength, crit, agi, and then spell cap, or the spell hit cap. The two-hand spec is as follows: 3, 31, 2. Right now we put 2 points in bladed armor. You're gonna put 31 points in your frost tree and 2 points in epidemic for disease length. Basically everything in the frost tree is a good DPS bonus, except in the first two tiers. That's where you're going to make your largest decision on whether you're two-hand or dual-wield. And if you are two-hand, you're not going to take Nerves of Cold Steel, and then as well, you will not take Threat of Thracian, yeah, and you're going to take Might of the Frozen Waste. A few other talents. I take On a Pale Horse because I don't want to be stunned. You could take Lichborn, and you could also take Endless Winter. These are really optional talents. You can sort of put them where you want. I'm just being lazy and don't feel like interrupting, so I don't take Endless Winter. And Lichborn is really only good for fights that CCU. But I mean, there aren't that many right now. Now on to glyphs. Frost glyphs for the primes use a Glyph of Obliterate, Glyph of Frost Strike, and Glyph of Fouling Blast. Obliterate is interchangeable with Icy Touch on AoE due to the spread of diseases, and it loses its value because you're not using Obliterate as often on AoE, and Icy Touch just is much better. Miners, I use Glyph of Hunger and Cold, Strangulate, and Anti-Magic Shell. They really have no value. Miners are pretty weak for DKs, at least for Frost. I said miners, I meant majors. My miners, I use Path of Frost, Horn of Winter, and Resilient Grip. Path of Frost is just goofball utility. Horn of Winter is definitely a must, except that right now there's an issue that I'm having, and I'm sure other DKs have dealt with it. Warrior Battle Shout is the same buff, but it has a longer duration, and you won't actually be able to use your horn unless they let their duration get under the 3-minute mark. So if you have a good warrior who's keeping up their shouts, you're going to have issues getting your free RP. So always, always, always yell at warriors to use commanding instead of battle, because it is gimping you your RP, and you need your RP. And Resilient Grip doesn't really do anything. I just use it because I wanted a glyph. So, yay.